And welcome live to our second online Gems session. My name is JT Szabo, and thanks for tuning in on the DaytonGems.com as well as our Ustream. I'm joined tonight by Gems President Joe Greene as well as Gems Head Coach and General Manager Brian Gratz. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
We did take some questions from you, the fan, and we're going to have an opportunity for these gentlemen to answer those for you live right here. So we do have a bunch of questions, and we're going to get right into it first for the president. We're going to get right into Joe here first, and our first question tonight comes from Mike in Clayton, Ohio, and he writes, how can fans help with getting more people in the stands?
Well, the biggest thing is to continue to spread the word. Our staff's done a tremendous job of increasing our attendance over the past 16 months. We feel like we've got one of the best front office staffs in all of minor league pro hockey. I'm very proud of the work that they've put in and the effort that they put in every day. This season, so far through 14 home games, our average attendance is up almost 30%. Our gross ticket sales are up almost 60%. Our group ticket sales are up 60%, so we're very pleased with the progress that we've made through 14 games compared to last season. And again, our goal is to fill the building every single night. As far as fans helping us, again, continue to spread the word out in the community. Season ticket holders, if you have tickets and you are unable to come to a game, try giving them to somebody who's never been before, who can come experience firsthand what the Dayton Gems game night experience is all about. I think that's very important, and it's definitely a team effort getting people in the stands, and the fans are part of our team here with the Gems, and we appreciate their willingness and their eagerness to help us put butts in seats, as we call it. So, we want to create a home ice advantage for our players every single night with a full house. We're getting there. We've made tremendous progress, but we also know we have a long way to go. We have very high expectations. We've set our goals extremely high, and that's really what it's about for us. Putting as many people as possible in here to create that home ice advantage.
All right, great question. Thank you, Mike from Clayton. Coach, I think it's time to begin your segment, but we can't begin without mentioning a new look for you.
Yeah, thought it was a new year, time for a new look, a new change, and so hopefully Dayton takes full embrace and we get after it this year.
Of course, you shave your head right when the wind and the cold air starts to come in, so I hope you stocked up on your toques a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. You got to keep the head warm and keep the heat in. So yeah, new look, and my wife okayed it, and so did Kathy, so I should be all right.
All right. Well, we're going to start tonight with a question from Michael in Yellow Springs, and Michael asks, as you head into the All-Star break, which comes next week, what are your goals for the second half of the season?
Well, first and foremost, we're here to win a championship, and so our biggest goal that's on the board right now is to make the playoffs and put ourselves in a position to do just that. I know our guys are committed to doing it, and it's a matter of improving in a couple areas and establishing a little bit more of a consistency and a full 60-minute effort. We definitely would like to improve upon our penalty killing, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later, but our penalty killing and limiting the other teams' ability to capitalize on some of our mistakes, which we put upon ourselves with some turnovers and compounding one mistake after another, and that's part of having some youth on the team, and everybody goes through it, and so all in all, I think we're 4 points out of a playoff spot right now, and that's the most important part, and one good weekend or a couple good weekends in a row catapult you right back to the top of the standings. So, I think we're going to be just fine.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for that question. And we'll turn our sights back onto Joe Greene. And, Joe, your second question comes from Bill in West Carrollton. And he writes, are the Gems concerned with the talks currently out in the media about being a new arena coming to Dayton?
Well, it's a great question. And, let me say first and foremost, our focus is on the present, on right now, and on this season, and putting as many fans as possible into Hara Arena. We get a lot of good feedback from fans who come into Hara that it is a great place to watch a hockey game. I think everyone can agree it's one of the finest in minor league pro hockey to actually come and witness the experience of hockey here at Hara. With that being said, we are very limited with the amount of premium seating that we have available. It limits our staff in their sales capabilities when companies and groups are looking for suites or premium seats or party decks or party areas, and that's a pretty large revenue stream that we just don't have the ability to have here at this arena. So, down the line, would we be interested? Yeah, I think we would be interested in at least looking into it. But again, our focus is right here on right now, trying to get as many people possible into this arena this season to create that home ice advantage. And not only that, when you look at some of these facilities around the league, it is difficult to recruit players to a facility that is aged like it is here at Hara, especially when you're up against state-of-the-art facilities like that they just opened up in downtown Evansville and Rapid City in Missouri. Players do look at that when they're looking at places to play, and so we want to make sure that we're going above and beyond for our players and offering competitive facilities and just very similar to college recruiting. When college when high school athletes are looking to where they want to go to a university and play sports, a lot of the times that has to do with who has the best facilities and what kind of not only that but how they take care of their players. And we really feel that Brian's done a great job in taking care of our players and making sure that they're welcomed and feel at home here in Dayton. But again, right now our focus is on Hara Arena this season.
All right, Bill from West Carrollton, thank you so much for sending in that question. And right back to the coach, and we've got a question sent in from Jeff in Beaver Creek. And Jeff wants to know, how much have injuries played a part in the success of your team so far this season?
Well, I feel, obviously we've been kind of hit a little bit harder than most in terms of injuries. To lose, a player like Chris Lipset after only 6 games is definitely going to affect our offensive output. It takes away a good portion of our secondary scoring. But even from there, we've lost some guys who just as soon as they start to hit their stride, like a Ben Winnett, he goes on a tear for a couple games and then gets a pretty significant injury that's going to keep him out for a month or more. So those things are definitely going to affect a team. And when you do have injuries like this, it's incumbent on the players who are in the locker room already to step up and fill the roles. And I look at a guy like Kyle Bocek, who was out for an extended period of time, really hurt the kind of chemistry and makeup of our team and what we do on the ice. And then as he came back, he had a big impact for us. He had to fill in right where Ben Winnett left off, and we needed him to take some big face-offs, and he provided some scoring punch and a little bit of grit for us. So it's guys like that who have to continue to step up and fill the roles. And not everybody is a natural power play type player, so guys who don't necessarily do that very often have to figure it out pretty quickly, and we try to do that with video breakdown and chalk talk and things like that, and we have some good leadership on our team, and Greg Levinsky, Brett Lutz, and Damian Surma, and Johnny Ornelas, and we're fortunate that those guys help those younger guys along, and we've seen some improvement in those guys, so guys just have to step up and fill the roles. Everybody's going to face injuries, some more than others, and unfortunately we're on the heavier end at this point, but we'll be fine. We get those boys back, and we'll be ready to march on to the playoffs.
All right, excellent question from Jeff in Beaver Creek. Well, Joe, next question for you comes from Shelley in Huber Heights, and Shelley wants to know, are there any new features or promotions that the Gems have planned for the second half of the season?
Absolutely, and one question that we get asked a lot right now is the All-Star Game going to be available to watch for our fans to get together and watch that? In fact, it is. We have not officially announced it yet, but Buffalo Wild Wings in Englewood, our official watch party host, has agreed to show the game on the big screen on Wednesday night. They will have the audio playing. They do expect a very good crowd that night for another fundraiser that they have going that night, but at the same time they're excited to show our game. They want to continue to show our games there, and we asked that our fans show up early for that game. I believe the start time local Eastern is 8:35 next Wednesday, and everybody gets a chance to see Brett Lutz playing his first All-Star game. So we're excited about that. We're also working on a new website. We're looking to launch a brand new website here in the coming weeks that we're very excited about. Our director of web design, Ashley Lentz, has been working diligently on that, along with our marketing company, Niche Productions, to put together a great website that we can't wait to release. Some of the other things we have in February, we have our first ever bobblehead giveaway that the Dayton Gems have ever done. So we'll be announcing the player that will be that bobblehead here in the next few weeks. Stay tuned to our website at DaytonGems.com for more information to find out who that lucky player might be for that bobblehead giveaway. I believe that's on Saturday, February the 25th, and we're real excited about that. First 1,000 fans in the Hare Arena will get the first ever Dayton Gems bobblehead presented by A. Abel. And then we just recently announced our new addition to our Faith and Family Night. Faith and Family Night, we did it last year. We brought in AC Green, former LA Laker. It was very successful. This year we're going to have a Battle of the Bands where a band, local faith-based band is going to have an opportunity to win some cash, $250 cash prize, and play a post-game concert on Faith and Family Night. And then finally, save the date, Tuesday, February 21st, ladies. It's Ladies Night, our second annual Ladies Night event. Brian and I had a meeting today with our booster club about Ladies Night, and we've got a special surprise in store, a new addition for Ladies Night this season that I think all of the Gems ladies fans are going to want to be in attendance for. So save the date, Tuesday, February 21st for that, and more details soon to come.
All right, well, I hope that cleared it up a little bit, Shelley, and we appreciate your question. Turning back over to the coach, obviously, Brian, this question coming from Stacy in Fairborn. Thank you for your question, Stacy. And she wants to know the penalty kill, in her eyes, needs to improve. What are some of the keys to improving your special teams this season?
Well, I think it's pretty easy to look down the CHL stats page and see that the penalty kill number isn't where it needs to be, where it should be, or where it's even acceptable at this point in time. But it's easy to say that that's something that's been consistently porous over the course of the year, when in fact we have improved significantly over the past couple weeks, and the last month we struggled mightily with it at the very beginning. We had guys who didn't necessarily fit the role and the mold of the penalty killer that we needed. And then, there's also injuries that have played a big part of it too. I mean, as we've rolled along, to lose a guy like Kyle Bocek, who's a consistent penalty killer for us, and then to lose Charlie Townsend, who's been excellent, probably blocks the most shots on the team. Losing those two guys hurt, and then Ben Winnett obviously was very difficult as well. So just having a lot of inconsistency on our penalty killing pairs tends to really hurt a club. So getting those pairs a little bit more consistent. We've had guys step up. Damian Surma asked to kill penalties, and you know what, he's done a tremendous job. So having guys step up and do that is very important for us. But also, I mean, the consistency of it all has to happen. There's times when we've had guys try and be a little bit too opportunistic on the penalty kill, where they're looking to pick off a pass and go for a shorthanded opportunity. There's been times too where we do gain possession of the puck in our zone, and rather than getting that instant clear to give ourselves the release of pressure and get a chance to get a change, guys are trying to make the extra play to try and find somebody who's going to streak up the ice, which isn't the kind of hockey that we should be playing, and guys know it, but they're trying to do that little extra to try and help us be successful when you really start spinning your tires and cause more problems than you do good in trying to be a little bit more individual or opportunistic in situations like that.
All right. Great question from Stacy in Fairborn. And back to Joe. Next question here, coming all the way from inner city Dayton, and this is from Angela, and she wants to know what happened to the season ticket holder of the game, and how do people get picked to sit on the bench during warm-ups?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually replaced our season ticket holder of the game promotion. That's a little bit different last year compared to last year. This season, the season ticket holders of the game and their families get to come down and sit on the bench during warm-ups. And we did this for a couple of reasons. One, to be honest, believe it or not, some of the people that we called and said, hey, you're going to be the season ticket holder of the game and be featured during the game on the spotlight and get a puck, a lot of them didn't want the spotlight. And so we thought we'd change it up a little bit and offer an opportunity for them and their families to come down, sit on the bench during warm-ups, get an up-close and personal point of view, the opportunity to talk to our players during warm-ups. A lot of our players will come over and stretch by the bench and have a pregame conversation with them, and it's been really cool, especially for the kids that have been able to come down and talk to those players. So We did want to switch it up. Some people decided they weren't interested in being under the spotlight, and we wanted to get more people involved. We increased our season ticket sales by 80% this past off season compared to last year. So we have a lot more season ticket holders that we'd like to honor, and we feel that by doing it this way, with having them sit on the bench, and there's an opportunity for more of them to come down to sit on the bench every game, that we can take care of more of our season ticket holders. And how they're picked completely at random. We pick those completely at random to come down and sit on the bench. So hopefully we'll be able to get to everyone who wants to come down this season.
All right. Well, I hope that clears it up, Angela, and we'll see you at a game. Another question for Coach. This comes all the way from Cinda in Xenia. And Cinda wants to know, what role does the captain of the team play, and how does Greg Levinsky handle that responsibility in your eyes?
Well, first off, Greg Levinsky is one of the best captains that I've had the honor to coach or play with. The captain, he's not necessarily the guy who scores the most points. He's the person that's going to have the biggest effect on and off the ice in terms of his actions, his work ethic, and what he says in the locker room to help hold players accountable. Greg has obviously been here for a long time, and to see the kind of work ethic he has in practices, off the ice, off-ice workouts, leading by example. There's not another player in our locker room who works as hard as Greg, and that's the kind of guy that you want to have wearing the C on your jersey. Somebody who, even in the heat of the moment when, you have to talk to the official and convey the message of the coach or the team in a coherent, calm manner. Greg is able to do that, and he has an excellent rapport and has a lot of respect from officials and other players alike. So that's an important aspect of it. But one thing Greg does a tremendous job of is, and what all captains should strive to do, is to really help out the younger players, the guys who are just learning to be professional hockey players, the ones who kind of need the guidance to see the way, to be able to make a career of it and really climb the ladder. I mean, Greg's been a guy who's played at the American League level. He's played for a long time, and these younger guys really take to him. And like I said before, Greg he's an excellent all-around player. He's not going to score a ton of points at this point in his career, but he is extremely difficult to play against as a defenseman, as seen through a lot of our matchups against teams like Missouri and Evansville. And guys see what he brings night in and night out, and he's a beacon of consistency, which is something that we've really talked about and know we need to improve that. And Greg reiterates those sentiments as well. So. I wouldn't have it any other way. I can tell you 100% of our locker room wouldn't have it any other way, and we're proud to have Greg as our captain.
All right. Thank you, Cinda, for your question in Xenia. Back to Joe, and I've got one more question for you this afternoon from Jim in Centerville. And Jim wants to know, when will the season tickets go on sale for next season, and are the prices changing?
Great question. Our goal is to have renewal started by the end of this month, by the end of January. We'll start accepting deposits at the end of this month for next season, and then have our new pricing and benefits out in February, early February. I know that our ticketing staff, Sean Watering, Patrick LeBute, and our staff have been working hard to not look too far ahead for next season as we focus on this year, but we know it's important, and we know people are trying to plan as they move forward and budget, keep us in their budgets for the upcoming year. So we will have more information soon. It will be on our website at DaytonGems.com, and we're excited to roll out some new benefits as well, and pricing probably won't change a whole lot, but there probably will be some changes. So if you have any questions, again, feel free to call our VP of Ticket Sales, Sean Watering, or Account Executive Patrick LeBute at 275-7777. Or more importantly, check our website at DaytonGems.com for all of the information.
All right. Thank you, Jim in Centerville, for that question. And I've got a two-part question for you, Coach. And first, coming from Dirk in Greenville. And Dirk wants to know, there are no gimmies in January, obviously, but with only Fort Wayne, Quad City, Evansville, and Rapid City on the schedule this month, which are the top 4 teams in the Turner Conference? How important is the success this month of January to your overall year?
Well, not only the month of January, but the entire season. I mean, January is going to be important. I mean, those are the teams that we're directly competing with for a playoff spot. But I mean, you can look at the standings and look at the teams on any given night. There is so much parity in our league that no game is a gimme, no matter who it is. I mean, everybody can look and see Bloomington at the bottom of our conference, but the fact of the matter is they're much improved. They beat Fort Wayne the other night. I mean, they're a good team, and anybody can win on any given night. And it's about bringing a consistent level of effort and execution that's going to help you, and sticking to the things that makes your team go. And with this month here, like I alluded to earlier, with things being as tight as they are, 1 or 2 good weekends in a row catapult you right to the top of the standings. So, we definitely want to accomplish a good record here in the month of January. There's a lot of people who say that at the beginning of a season you can't make the playoffs in the first couple months of the season, but you can miss out on them. And I'm sure there's a lot of games that the players and I definitely feel like we left some points on the board. So it just makes the games moving forward that much more important. And every game's a 4-point game. You either gain 2 points or you go down by 2 more points. So we have to be on it and ready to roll here every step of the way.
All right, thank you, Dirk in Greenville, for that question. And we'll finish with one more question for Coach Gratz, and this one's coming from Chris in Dayton. And Chris wants to know, what do you consider to be the primary strengths of the team, and what do you see as the primary areas needed for improvement?
Well, I mean, in terms of strengths, I think we have the skill that can take us to a good place, take us to the playoffs. I think we have the personnel that can do it. We're pretty good in transition. We have defensemen who are able to move their feet, escape some pressure, and help join the rush, which gives us that transition edge. It's not necessarily always the second or third guy in the zone when you're coming in on a 3-on-2 that's going to generate the goal. Sometimes it's that defenseman who has to pop in and find some space, and I think we have some forwards who are creative enough to find those guys coming in. So our transition game is very good, and when the team is sticking with the plan in terms of getting pucks behind defensemen, not necessarily dumping it in, but it's a chip and go situation where we can get in, establish our forecheck, punish the other team's defense. We are very successful in terms of gaining puck pressure, getting the puck control in zone, working our cycle, and generating some good opportunities from there. But it's just about establishing that level of consistency, which is what I would say is one of our weaknesses right now. We have a lot of players that, through this injury process, guys feel that they need to step up. They need to do more for the team, and sometimes in a young player's mind, that's, I got to be the one to score the goal. And when you get to the point where you're like, where the player is saying, I need to do more with the puck, have it more on my stick, take control myself, then you're leaving 4 other guys on the ice out to dry, not necessarily on the same page as you. So it's getting players to realize that we're stronger as a team and as a group of 5 on the ice, as opposed to being one man trying to do it all by himself. So, but that comes with time, and that comes with some experience for our younger players, and they're starting to buy in and understand what needs to happen for us to get to the playoffs. Plain and simple, we know we've left some points on the board that maybe we should have had in some of these most recent games, but I think it's hit home with the guys, and we're ready to move forward, and we've had a pretty strong commitment from our guys in terms of practice this week moving forward into a big weekend set with Fort Wayne.
All right, thank you, Chris in Dayton, for that question. Gentlemen, that answers all of the questions that we had submitted. Let's move into closing thoughts, and we'll start first with Joe.
Well, first I want to, and most importantly, thank everyone who's tuned in for this broadcast, whether it's live or on the archive. But we appreciate your support more than you know, and we ask that you continue to support us, to support our players. We're out in the community a lot. We have our players doing a ton out in the community with youth hockey, with a number of public appearances, with nonprofit organizations, and our guys. We probably ask our players more than any other organization to give up some of their free time and be out in the community. And so we ask for your support on a nightly basis. These guys are working their tails off to get better and win games. Our head coach, Brian Gratz, is working his tail off, and he's in here many hours of the night watching film and trying to improve our team. And that's all you can ask for as we continue to try to entertain on a nightly basis, which is what we're all about with the game night experience. I would also like to thank our front office staff, including JT, for the job that they've done here this season. We also working our tails off and spend a lot of time here at Hara Arena in this office and out in the community, spreading the gospel of Dayton Gems Pro Hockey, and as well as our spouses who don't get to see a lot of us during the season. My wife Sarah, my boys are watching tonight. My dad's watching, and I know we've got some season ticket holders and some sponsors like Mike Kincaid who are tuned in tonight, and we appreciate all the support from our corporate partners as well, something we don't talk about a lot, but it really is very important to the overall success of the organization. So, continue to come out and support us. Your feedback is important to us. Don't ever hesitate to contact our front office with questions, concerns, good or bad feedback, as we try to improve each and every day and get better and make the Dayton Gems experience the best in the Central Hockey League. So thank you very much, and we appreciate your support.
All right. Closing thoughts from Coach.
Well, I just like to say thank you for all the support that you have shown for us this year. It didn't start off quite as easily as last year in terms of success in the win column, but we appreciate the fans staying behind us and staying positive, because the players are working tirelessly to improve, both individually and as a team. We've battled some adversity, but at the end of the day, those are the lumps that you need to take in order to be able to stand in the final rounds of a fight in a long season like this. So I'm proud of what we're accomplishing, and I hope you will be too here at the end of the day. Our organization works tirelessly, like Joe said. It's a family here. Everybody cares about what we're doing, and we hope to be able to put a product on the ice and in the community that everybody can be proud of and be willing to support, because at the end of the day, we need your support so that we can keep giving back to this community and make Dayton an excellent place for professional hockey and for people to come out and enjoy family fun entertainment, and that's what we look to provide. So I thank Joe, JT, our ownership group, our entire front office for giving us this forum to field your questions and to tell you a little bit about what goes on behind the veil, and just want to thank you for tuning in, and go Gems. We'll be on the march here for the rest of the year.
And that's right, and that begins tomorrow night when the Gems will travel to the dreaded Fort Wayne Coliseum as they'll battle the first-place Comets tomorrow night at an 8 o'clock start. You can tune in on CHL TV and Wave 96. And, of course, the Gems back at home on Saturday night, and that a big game that's been long anticipated as it's Beer League Jersey night.
Yeah, we've got several gentlemen from San Antonio and from around the country coming into Dayton on Friday. They'll be playing in an exhibition game at 3 o'clock against Mega City Hockey Club here at Hara. It's free of charge, free admission. So if you want to see some old guys throwing around the puck on the ice, and come on out for an entertaining game at 3 o'clock. And then obviously we're going to be wearing the specialty camouflage jerseys on Saturday night. We'll auction those off online the following week, and a portion of the proceeds will be donated to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of San Antonio. These guys are really excited to come in, and we want to make sure we give them the royal treatment. So we've got some special things in order for them when they arrive, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Of course, the first 500 fans through the gates on Saturday night will receive, and these things are awesome. We've had a chance to see them. Gems pint glasses, and they're real glass, no plastic. They are the real deal, and I think a lot of fans are really going to enjoy those.
They look great. Ashley Lentz designed the glasses. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on them. They hold a nice cold beer perfectly. You put one in the freezer and pull it out for a nice Keystone Light, then you're all set for the night. So.
Of course, tickets are still available for that game by calling 275-7777. And, of course, Sean and Patrick will be standing by to take your call tomorrow. And, of course, you can also buy them online at DaytonGems.com. Gentlemen, I think we're done here. I appreciate your time. Appreciate your time tuning in right here on DaytonGems.com. As, of course, this will be replayed on demand on the Gems YouTube channel as well as on Facebook. So like us and share it with your friends, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
And thank you. Have a great rest of your night. Go Gems.